Welcome in. We thought that we would do this video in my living room to kind of send the message to you that I'm sitting here relaxing about to watch a show, when in reality, I'm just shooting a YouTube video for you. But this is how I look when I'm getting ready to chill out after a long day. And I do this most days, because the reality is, even though I've been able to build some wealth, I still like to relax. So what if you can watch TV or movies, which you're gonna do anyways, and still learn how to get rich? You can. So in this video, I'm gonna share with you my 6 favorite shows of all time that will teach you secret lessons to getting rich. Starting out at number 6 is the one, the only, Mr. Bobby Axelrod from Billions. And in this show, it is a masterclass in strategy, deal making, power positioning, navigating high stakes business and business deals with lessons in both offense and defense. Bobby gives you a unique perspective through his life about what it's like to be worth billions of dollars. The things that you're going to spend your time on, the things that you're not going to spend your time on. By no means is Bobby Axelrod a perfect human being, but it's a unique insight to what it would be like to run a massive organization and be responsible for billions of dollars, and in his case, of assets that he's managing for other people. Coming up next, the one, the only, you know it, you love it, and if you haven't seen it yet, you need to, Ozark. Mr. Marty Bird. You're gonna witness with Marty the raw reality of problem solving under pressure, real resourcefulness, and how fast adaptability can mean survival or empire building. I mean, it's a real masterclass in how somebody who lives a normal life, who's an accountant, can turn into a ruthless empire builder, criminal. I mean, laundering money for the Mexican cartel. It really shows what somebody is made out of and who they can become if they need to be. And I think if you want to get rich, you want to build a business, you're going to need to become someone that you aren't right now. That doesn't mean that you're going to need to become good or bad. It's not about that. It's about that you're going to need to reach down in the depths of your stomach and gut and heart and soul and pull out things that you didn't know were there. The next one that comes in on the list, and some would argue that this should be number 1. It's not. Breaking Bad and Mr. Walter White. What Walter showed us in this show, in my opinion, was how somebody can dig inside and pull out something that they didn't know that they had. How unassuming was a science teacher in a public school to become a ruthless drug dealer. It was a masterclass in how a bold decision paired with relentless execution and even branding can transform someone from powerless to literally an empire builder, albeit on the dark side. All right, next on the list, Undercover Billionaire. And the reason why this one is on the list is because it shows you the power not really of having resources, but of actually having resourcefulness. And in the show, they drop a billionaire into a city, give him like $100 or something, and he's got to build $1 million business in 90 days. And you get to see the behind the scenes of how somebody thinks who's worth that much, who already has a track record of success, how somebody makes decisions, the risk that they're willing to take, the embarrassment tolerance that they have. Because you have to have a certain amount of willingness to take no's, to face rejection. If you're dropped in a random city and you gotta like build something from scratch in 90 days, you gotta kiss a lot of babies, you gotta shake a lot of hands, you gotta learn a lot of names, you gotta knock on a lot of doors. You probably are gonna have to take a lot of no's. And so raising your embarrassment tolerance, raising your risk-taking tolerance to an extent to which you're just slightly uncomfortable, right? And get out of that comfort zone. And just what it really looks like to kind of work with people. And that's one of the things that I think entrepreneurs nowadays forget about, because we're all on our phones or we're in our home offices. But most, or if not all, billionaires on this planet actually earn that money through working with people, working with teams. It's actually a long lost art. Everybody just wants to interact with their screens, but I think it gives you a unique perspective into the people skills that it requires to become a billionaire. Coming up here, close to number 1, not quite, but almost is Shark Tank. You know it, you love it, I do too. I mean, this is a family-friendly show. This is a show that you can sit down with your kids. You can be guaranteed there's not going to be any F-bombs dropped, and it's just going to be real, both mechanics and dynamics. You've got the mechanics, you've got the economic elements and the terminology and sort of the business jargon that you'll learn from listening to the show. Things like LTV and CAC. You'll hear abbreviations and acronyms that almost sound weird, but you'll realize they're not at all. These are marketing jargon, business terms, acronyms like EBITDA that are used on a daily basis and that you need to know if you want to have a business. And you definitely need to know if you want to build that business and maybe sell that business one day. If you really want to build wealth and be successful, this show will teach you how to do that through the form of starting a business and what that looks like in terms of marketing your business to an investor to get them to invest in your vision. You need to come with the correct mechanics. You know, the economic elements need to make sense, but the dynamics, the psychology, the culture, the vision that you have, and then your ability to be able to answer questions, not be defensive, be open. You've only got about a minute to make an impression. It's all right there, front and center, and they do it beautifully on Shark Tank. Last but not least, yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm bringing the heat on this one. You didn't expect it, but it's true. The number 1 show that you should watch if you want to get rich, The Sopranos. Wait, Dave, what are you trying to do? Put me in jail, man? No, not quite. But I am trying to teach you more than just a mob story. The Sopranos is a deep dive into leadership psychology, loyalty management, decision fatigue, and how power isolates. It's about a powerful mob boss who juggles the pressures of leading his criminal empire while also seeking therapy to cope with the stress of family, leadership, and some of the big L's that you take as a mob boss, including death and potential prison time. Some circumstances that are way more stressful than hopefully you're facing if you want to get rich right now. Hopefully the risks that you're thinking about taking are publishing that video or sending that email or having that conversation. Watching The Sopranos also gives you an opportunity to see kind of how one of the most important elements that so many people forget in today's day and age, which is the primary element of a great leader, which is being a man of your word. Keeping your word and building a bond and trust with the people that work around you so they know that they can count on you and that you're not going to, of course, turn your back on them. The entertaining element of the show is, of course, when somebody does turn their back on somebody and they end up sleeping with the fishes. Last but not least, I think it was a groundbreaking performance and production in the sense that even when the show first came out and maybe seeing a shrink was not cool and still had quite a stigma around it. Nowadays, we realize that like therapy and doing self-care and actually healing your trauma and your wounds may actually also help both your life, but also your business success. And Tony Soprano was one of the first, I'd say, really macho men, super masculine characters inside of our sort of society, in our movie culture and show culture, that began to seek therapy and open up and show the audience a more vulnerable side of what it takes to be a high-stress leader. I made this video because there's a culture that we live in right now to where it's really cool to just kind of zone out and watch these reality TV shows. I mean, whether it's a dating or a romance or some sort of a comedy, there's no value there. And what we don't realize is if you want to get rich, it takes a specific sort of immersion where you need to protect your eyes and your ears from subconscious messages that could be developed from the things that you're watching. And so even if you're watching somebody who's getting rich in a way that you're not particularly going to follow in their footsteps, such as Tony Soprano, it still can instill and inspire the grit and the leadership. And subconsciously, almost by watching it and sitting on your couch, you begin to pick up and then can model some of the same leadership qualities that make some of these leaders be able to have the influence that they have over their clientele and the people that work and live around them. So it's about just killing two birds with one stone. Too many hustle culture gurus are talking about locking yourself in a closet for 16 hours and working, when the reality is that entertainment these days is too good to ignore. And there's ways that you can unwind while still feeding your subconscious mind the right messages that you need to get rich. If you want to build a business or a personal brand, which even if you don't know what you want to do yet, is probably the smartest thing that you can do for your financial future right now, there's a link in the description that'll take you over with some instructions where I will send you a brand new training that I just did that will show you exactly how you have hidden gold inside of you that you could turn into your personal brand in order to create more financial freedom and opportunity and deal flow in your life, regardless of the other ways that you want to get rich. So click the link and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. And soul and pull out things that you didn't know were there. How good was that, dude? You thought that I was good. You thought that it was about to get boring, huh?
I thought it was about to get bad advice. That's what I thought might have happened.
Oh, no, never that. Into the people skills that it requires to become a billionaire. How'd you like that?
That was good.
Thank you.